So, the worst interview I had ever done was when I first started Milking Ardor, my podcast. I was talking to the 16-year-old girl from Scotland. Her name is Rebecca, and she was telling me the story about when she got sexually assaulted. She went to the school about it because the person who sexually assaulted her was an upperclassman. So she went to the school about it, and the school told her family, and the family said to Rebecca, you're just doing it for the attention, and we're sick of it. Get out. They kicked her out, and the only thing she has going on for her is her pet fish that her friend, who was 5 times her age, gave her. And she's just struggling to even take care of herself and this fish that she has. Now, this story wasn't bad because of the content being said or how it was said, but rather the message being said. I asked Rebecca, what is one thing you would have done differently in hopes to have a positive message? And she said, Spencer, I wish I never went to this school about it. And sure, I'm mentally damaged and scarred from that incident, but at least I wouldn't be homeless. Is that the message I'm trying to show people and I want to share? No. I don't want to disregard and really just undermine her, but I don't want to spread that message. I honestly think that if you're struggling, seek help. And sure, it's not the best example of seeking help and getting help, but this podcast was intended for me to bring light into people's eyes, to really listen to people's life lessons that they've learned, the experiences they face, and the passions they're pursuing. And all of that is an attempt to bring people together, the listener, me, and just build empathy and love. Because I think fundamentally, love and empathy is what will unite us as a nation, as a whole, as a race, human race. I thought that was my worst interview. I was wrong. I was deeply, deeply wrong. I had an interview today. And it was a group interview, another group interview. And if you've been listening to my podcast, most of my interviews are one-on-one. But here I'm going to do another group interview because they're pretty fun. And the people I do the group interviews with is a really great group. And so I hop on Discord and someone starts the call. I hop in. My video is on. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. Whoops, I say, and I turn my camera off. And the person who started the call, that's just me and him, said, wait, turn on your camera again. You have some really nice headphones. And obviously they were on my head. I was like, oh, okay, you like my headphones. I turned on my camera innocently, turned around and showed him, smiled. These are my headphones. Oh, they look fresh as hell, Grady. That's my online alias. Ha, thank you. Everyone joined the call. It kind of is a rough start.
Hey lads, hello everyone, by the way. Hello.
Hello.
Wait, why is your mic? How's your mic better?
The person who I thought was the most podcast professional, and honestly someone I really admired from just the other group interviews, he was just shouting.
Better than last time, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, it says a button here. It says
all right.
click. Oh, there we go.
Ubby and
shit.
Jimmy, if you guys could go on mute, since you guys
Yeah,
were talking about that.
Alright, cool. I'll buy this weapon, Jimmy. It's a good weapon.
Totally want to
M14 here.
Come on.
Yeah, Ubby, could you? Thank you. Airport, whatever. Something about a video game. They were gonna play video games during my interview, during my podcast, this group podcast. And it was very difficult to get them to stop and just be like, hey, could you guys mute yourself? I'm really trying to hear this person's story. This person I'm interviewing, mainly, talking about this eye infection he has and how it is the most difficult thing to live with in his life and how he's been tormented and bullied for it. And I really wanted to listen. Sure, his audio was a little difficult, but I wanted to listen to him.
The name Boss, like, and it's an eye infection, they still have a connection, you see. So, as I'm growing up.
In the middle of the call, in the group chat, this is what appears. Now, the person I was interviewing was mid-sentence. I didn't want to stop him. I didn't want to be like, hey, could you not send that? No. Honestly, I was very shocked. What do you even do in that situation? Do I say something? Do I just let it happen? But I felt like I owe it to the person I'm interviewing to just hear them out. I shouldn't make it about me. That's selfish. And while that went on, just more things were being said. Now, in the midst of this interview, the person who I thought was the most podcast friendly, and the person who was playing video games and I had to get him to stop, he had a blackout, and he comes in and just interrupts.
I think we can cope with it. You know what? I'm gonna be, if we're gonna podcast. No! No!
And he laughs. He's laughing.
Why is that Chinese? Why is that?
Boy.
Why is that Chinese man? With a face.
Why is that?
Who is that guy? Anyways, yeah, sorry, you can continue the podcast.
And so, I say to him, after moments of just taking everything in, Abhi.
Yes, hello, Grady.
Alright.
Chinese.
Fun fact. The picture that Dizzy drew that penis over is of me.
Yeah. That's you!
That's me, dog.
Oh shit.
What? Yo, you kind of look cool. I'm not even gonna lie, man.
Dog.
Not the
Dog,
penis
don't
bit.
don't try to play it off like you weren't just like roasting the shit out of me. Yeah. That's me. The person you were just making fun of was me. Here's some other things that were being said and mentioned, and yeah. The person I'm interviewing, the person who is talking about his eye infection, how he is being bullied for it, and how being bullied is just the worst thing really about the infection, goes on and says, hey, could I go back to my story? Yeah, sure. Go back to your story. I'm trying to get my mind off of things. He says, when I went back to school, just months and months of torment, I went back to school and I was called to the office. And at the office, there's this podcaster, this ugly Chinese disconnect. Here's the thing. For someone who strongly believes that love and empathy can bring people up and that everyone deep down is a good person, just because I think you're a good person does not mean I will be a punching bag to you. I will not take that. I honestly don't want to take it. There's no need for me to take it, for me to stay there any longer. And sure, I'm a people pleaser for sure, and I love to listen to people and really hear them out, even though I might be sacrificing my own mental health. Here's one of the first times in my life I'm really taking a stance and saying, F this shit. I'm out. And I leave the group chat, and I come back 20 minutes later because they added me again, saying like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then I scroll up from the group chat, and then there's this being said. Here's the thing, everyone. Sure, I was absolutely pissed and fueled and just taken aback about everything that had happened. But the truth is, I think this is just one evidence. This is just proof that I'm making it. I have to come to realize, and the person watching this, you have to come to realize, as you start getting more into more of what you want to do, and your passion projects, if I may, or your career, people are just going to tear you down. And as much as I wanted to just call them out and say, you guys are so full of especially the guy who I was mainly interviewing saying, oh, being bullied really sucks, and then goes on about attacking me, I'm not going to say any of that. They're not worth my time. If someone's talking shit about you, don't even... Why? Like, why take it? Why endure it? It reminds me of another time, but I'm not supposed to talk about that. Not yet, at least. Say that for another time, but... As disappointed as I am with what just happened, I want to be thankful for this opportunity, this incident. As I've realized, life isn't as innocent and naive. There are people who are going to break you down and try to tear you apart. I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm really not going to let that stop me. And sure, that was really unfortunate that this had happened. I'm not going to let it stop me. I love this podcast. As you all know, this podcast is everything to me. Obviously not everything, but I really do think it's making somewhat of a difference. You might not see it, but I definitely believe it's making a difference. What do you guys think? If chances are not everyone is going to like stay and listen to 13 minutes of me, Spencer, just rant about this crazy incident that happened, which is really just more common in actuality. What do you think? What do you think of this perspective and just this incident? That's it for me. I have not much to say. Not anymore, at least. Thank you. Rather than focus on all the haters, I'm going to focus on all the lovers. For everyone who supported me through the first day and up to now. Thank you. Thank you for just giving me a lot of support for this passion project I started. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for that. Until next time, folks, I will see you later.